Hello, everyone. Once again, you're rocking with King El Bey, and I'm dropping these videos. This is Ghosting the System Part 2, and I'm just gonna go and show you you don't supposed to be in the public at all. This is why you're getting adjudicated. Your information supposed to be totally private. So you having a mailing address, you answering for that mail, you having all your public information in the public, and you giving these people all this information about you without understanding that you're supposed to be private, totally private. So I'm starting off with this because under the Trade Secret Act, you supposed to be here. It says a trade secret means information include the whole or any portion, phrase, phase of any scientific, technical information, design, process, procedure, formula. Let me skip some of this stuff. Business information, plans, financial information, or a list of names, addresses, or telephone numbers that satisfy both of the following. And then we're going to go down here. It is the subject of efforts that are reasonable under the circumstances to maintain its secrecy. So, the reason why you're having issues with trials, child support, issues in court, is because you don't know how to maintain your privacy. So let's look at some definitions. Let me go back. Let me show you here. It says a confidential source. Like they said, confidential relationships, confidential marriage, a confidentiality statute. Listen to what I'm saying. So check this. A confidential source, a person who provides information to a law enforcement agency or to a journalist on the express or implied guarantee of anonymity. Confidentiality is protected both under the Federal Freedom of Information Act for disclosure to the law enforcement and under the First Amendment. So you got a First Amendment protection to be private. You don't have to bear witness against yourself under the Fifth Amendment. Do you understand that? When you give out your personal information, you are bearing witness against yourself. You don't have to do that. It's about maintaining privacy at all costs. This is why you guys are getting beat up in court. Let's go to anonymous, not named or identified. I'm just dropping this science on y'all. Let's go back. Let me show y'all something under these statutes. Why people are having. I talked about how they get presumption over your domicile, but they also tell you how to. An individual is not presumed. It says an individual is presumed not to be domiciled in the state if you do this. You go down, read all this stuff, man. I ain't gonna go over all of that, but they talk to you. This is why you guys are getting beat up, because I keep trying to tell people you need to know your state laws also. A lot of y'all are just bypassing and just understanding all federal rules and regulations. You deal with the state first. You study both. The check dig. The court is a financial institution. It's a bank. They doing private banking. Listen, they doing private banking. Superintendent, that's why you need to know the. Hold on, let me show y'all something. This, how many people you hear talk about the rules of superintendents? Now I done told y'all this from anybody who know me. I talk about this all the time. Memberships. Let me go. Let me go through. There's a lot of this stuff. Of certificates. Let me claims against the state. When a claim has been filed with the court pursuant to this of the revised code, the fiduciary shall file a copy of any rejection with the court. If the court requires a claim or hearing on claims, or fiduciary requests a hearing on claims, what is you talking about? This is a bank. Fiduciaries, come on, man. I'm just gonna show y'all application for a letter of authority to administer estate and notice of appointment. I'm gonna tell y'all this is. I don't nobody. I've been telling y'all to study these rules of superintendent for years. For at least 7 years, I've been talking about this. Case when a notice of appeal, petition, or complaint filed with the court, and any of the following when filed in the court of common pleas, municipal court, and county court, a civil complaint, petition, or administrative appeal, criminal indictment, and a state trust guardianship for adoption or miscellaneous matters. Instrument, a petition, complaint, or other instruments alleging that a child is delinquent, unruly, division. Listen, man. We dropping this. I'm just gonna show y'all, man. Y'all need to understand these rules. I'm not modifying or vacation of administrative judge. Listen, man. Y'all need to know these rules right here. If you don't understand this, like I told you, arbitration in juvenile and domestic relation cases, the judge or judges of the division of a common pleas court having domestic relation or juvenile jurisdiction may, at the request of the party before, refer a case or designate issues to arbitration. Listen, man, if you know how to contract, You supposed to have, you can pick the court and have your case arbitrated under contract, under their jurisdiction, under under your contracts, man. I'm just showing y'all, man. Y'all, I'm not gonna go through all these parts of the rules. I'm just telling you, you need to study these rules. I've been telling y'all for years. I've been telling y'all for years. Memberships, all of this stuff, meetings. I've been codes of ethics, all this privileges, confidential. Hold on. Let's go here. Confidentiality, mediation, communication, and connecting with government conflict resolution service programs are confidential. Two, this code. No one shall disclose such communication unless all mediation parties and mediators consent to disclosure in writing or on the open record. Exception to confidentiality. Mediation parties may share mediation communication with their attorneys. Privileges. So, except mediation, communication, and connection with government conflict resolution services or privileges. So you got to understand, the police department is a private agency. So you have a right to put in there, listen to what I'm saying, in your contracts with government that y'all have mediations, you have conflict resolution programs. You just got to know how to contract. That's why I've been trying to tell everybody, study the rules. You got to understand these rules. Listen, rules supersede statute. Rules supersede statute. Let's look up let's look up let's look up rule. Let's look up rule. Let me show you rule. Let me go rule. Let me just show y'all something. Rules supersede statute, man. I've been saying this for years. If you ever listen to Keng El Bey, that's why you're going in there, you keep arguing with these people, and you keep getting your head busted, because you're supposed to be a ghost in the system. They're supposed to know who you is, what you doing, your name, or nothing. Rule. Generally establish an authoritative standard or principle, a general norm mandating or guiding conduct or actions in a given type of situation. A default rule, a legal principle that fills a gap in a contract in the absence of an applicable expression provision but remains subject to a contrary agreement. General rule, a rule applicable to the class of cases or circumstances. A mandatory rule, a legal rule that is not subject to contrary contrary agreement. For example, the UCC obligation of good faith and fair dealing cannot be disclaimed. Understand the rules. Rules supersede statute. These are rules that cannot be broken. You got to understand this information, people. You got a lot of people trying to teach you stuff and they're not giving you the fundamentals. All This stuff right here that you read, this stuff you only can use. This stuff is copywritten. So you got to understand how to use this information. That's why I say, go get this book. Go get this book, man. This book is what you need. It got powerful tips. I'm going to come out with some more. I'm working on a book now. I'm conflicted on stuff I need to put in there in the public because you're supposed to be made private. Let me see. Let me look up this. Let me show y'all something. Law of the sovereign. I want to see. I want to see if I can. Sovereign citizen law. Nope. I ain't talking about sovereign. I'm talking about the law of the sovereign. It's a doctrine. Let me see. No. I'm trying to remember. When you understand some of this stuff that I'm talking about, it's a rule under the laws of the sovereign. You don't supposed to put the law, like when you under a sovereign nation, you don't supposed to put other people business out in the public. And that's just, I'm trying to go back because I got information. I don't want to open up all this stuff in my computer to try to find it, but many claims arising out of it. Now it says the Sovereign Act doctrine in federal contracts. So if you know how to do it, right, this is what I'm trying to tell you about contracting. Can the federal government avoid liability for added costs and time resolved from a deviation to the agreement solely by invoking the Sovereign Act doctrine? As a set forth below, the answer likely depends on whether the government is acting in relation related to the broader policy goal. So look, when you got a trust, the person who is the author of the trust is the sovereign. So when you are the author of the trust, you're the grantor, you're the sovereign, you're the head. So anytime you get in the contract with another sovereign, you can invoke this act long as you understand what you're doing. Like, okay, see, this is what happens when you're dealing with trade secrets, information. See, if it's the government stuff, you can't claim it. For example, that's just like you trying to claim a sovereign immunity when you using their social security information. It's theirs. They the one who created it. It's not yours. But the thing about it is the name is yours. And if you know how to protect the name and they attach it to the name, now you can implement other actions. Then it becomes yours. But still, you cannot claim sovereign immunity unless certain things has happened through contract. You got to protect yourself through contract. And if you don't know how to contract, you're not going to have those protections. So I'm just giving y'all just letting y'all know I ain't feel like going through all of this stuff. Y'all can see, look up this information and look up in federal contract. Look up contracts and just understand how all this stuff works. That's why I'm trying to show people you got to understand how to contract. Look at this. Confidentiality, cybersecurity required for insurance companies. When you give your stuff to certain people, they supposed to keep your stuff private. You got to understand how to do the same. Do your contracts with your straw man and all of that remaining anonymous. Y'all got to learn how to contract. Simple as that. I don't think everybody teaching you how to contract. They teaching you, a lot of people, this is what they're doing out there. They're not learning how to contract. They're just learning what all these contracts they think they believe they need in order to do a trust and all of this information. And they got you doing hella stuff, and you don't know every true benefit or non-benefit of the document because they don't know law, because they don't know how to contract. If you ask them to draft the contract, they don't know what to do. They don't know about this. Let me show y'all something. Most people don't know about this clause. A free agreement, not a free agreement. A flea agreement. It ain't coming up. So let's check dig. You can create a flea agreement. It's not coming up. Let me see if it'll come up on Google. Escape clause. An escape clause is any clause, term, or condition in the contract that allows a party to contract to avoid having to perform a contract. They also got a flee agreement, which would allow you to flee jurisdictions. It's about what you know how to define. Listen to what I'm saying. If you don't know how to contract, like you gotta, it says if an agreement was drawn up for sale of a house, for example, the purchaser could include some kind of escape clause in the contract which allowed him to escape from the contract without being liable for a breach. How many people talking about an escape clause in your contracts? How many people teaching y'all this information, man? If you don't know how to contract, you need to come over to Must and let us rock with us. Let's build, y'all. Let's build. Come and check us out. Call us. All I do is drop hot information. All I do is drop fire. All I do is drop fire. Because I want my people to know the power of the pen is mightier than the sword, baby. And that's the problem. We don't understand that. These people could contract you into doom and gloom, and you don't even know what you done did. So check us out. That's the number 513-549-7270. 513-549-7270. Stop going in there and talking about their business, about their private trust, this, that, and the third. Who cares? Who cares? You don't care about none of their business. Only thing you want to know to stop them from encroaching you got to know how to contract. You got to understand how to seal records. You got to understand how to contract so they can't pull you in their jurisdiction. And if you a ghost in the system, they can't even do it because they don't got no jurisdiction because they can't find you. You got the right to totally be private. Do you understand me? The only way you can be public if you go into a public venue and allow them to make you public. You under contract. You have a right to stay private and remain private all of your life. You understand? This is Keng El Bey dropping this information, talking about Ghost in the System Part 2. Y'all need to watch these videos. These videos are fire. I'm just dropping this knowledge. I'm just trying to reach my people and teach my people how to stay in the dark where they can't pull you into a jurisdiction because they don't got nothing on you to pull you in the jurisdiction with. This is Keng El Bey. I'm about to sign out. Like I said, they don't supposed to have none of your information, your mailing address, your mama's name, grandma's name, daddy's name. They don't supposed to have nothing on you. You supposed to be totally oblivious to the public. The only creature supposed to be in the public is your straw man or your public entities. This is Keng El Bey signing off on Ghost in the System Part 2. Show me some love. Watch the video. Subscribe, like to the channel. I'm dropping number fire. This ain't number fire information. You ain't gonna hear it from anybody else. We Ghost in the System. Peace.